didn't call the police, can you give them that little analogy that you used to do when we used to do this stuff? About how there's a lot of... Thank you.
Okay, so... Huh? Should I walk? No, Scott, I'm gonna go in a second. I've got this. Okay, so... Okay, imagine there's a husband and a wife, and I know that husband gets beat too, but I'm using something that I'm not gonna use for a guy. So, imagine a husband beats their wife daily, okay? And she works outside of her house, though. She's not even isolated to that home. She works outside her house. So every morning, Monday through Friday, she wakes up and she puts on makeup. She covers up her bruises and she leaves her house and she goes past a friend's house, a police station, her parents' house, and she makes it to work. Where at work, she's around all of her coworkers. And then she leaves work. She passes up her parents' house again, police station, a friend, and goes right back to her abuser and restarts it all over again. Why doesn't she do that? Would y'all invalidate her too? Why doesn't do you know that the hardest part of abuse is leaving? That's the most dangerous part too. The most dangerous part of escaping abuse is the escape. It's the most dangerous part. It could be anyway. It's as simple as that. Would you invalidate a person that goes home every single day, even though, unlike Gypsy, they did go out into the world on their own, and they come right back to their abuser? Are you one of those people that would be like, well, they deserve it, they going back home, so they deserve it? I hope not, because fear is like a muzzle. It keeps you silent, and it's us, the ones that aren't in that situation that need to not be acting like this and actually be standing up and using our voice to say, like, no, you don't have to stay silent. Maybe if people wouldn't victim blame so much, maybe more victims would want to use their voice to stand up and actually say something. Not only that, but that was all Gypsy ever knew. She lived it her entire life. Her mother and her didn't get home and evening's like, all right, high five, we made it another day. It just was what it was. On top of that, and I'm saying this because this is what Gypsy has shared with me, by the way. I'm just letting everyone know. Another thing was her feeding tube. Her mother had put it into her head that if she ever removed that on her own or whatever, she would bleed out and literally die. That's something that also held her back from ever leaving, which is why, I don't know if y'all know this, but there's that video of Dee Dee and Gypsy at the hospital the day of or the day before this murder. You want to know who initiated that visit? Gypsy. Gypsy told her mom she wanted to go get her feeding tube replaced. So that's what they did. You want to know why she did that? Because she knew that would give her 6 months before she had to get it replaced again. That gave her 6 months to where she wouldn't have to worry about it because her mother made her scared of that she could just die if she never got it replaced or if she pulled it out. So that's just one example. That's just one example that held Gypsy back. Just the feeding tube alone, which is why, how y'all say she needed the feeding tube at one point. Let's just say she did, even though I believe that if she did need it because of her mother not giving her the correct amount of food that she needed to make her, but that's my opinion. You don't have to believe it, even though her own family said she ate, when they had to babysit her when her mother got in a car accident. But anywho, so why did her mom never remove the feeding tube after she gained the weight and it was at a healthy weight? Let's see. Oh, wait, because she used it against her. Gypsy, that was one of the reasons she was scared to leave, because of the feeding tube. It was also easy access to her body. You see why there was certain things that her mother was never going to remove? Because not only was it easy access to her body, but it also was something attached to Gypsy that instilled fear in her. That's another example. So I gave you the example of, let's see, the feeding tube, the fear is like a muzzle, you're scared. Oh, wait, here's another one. So Gypsy had family members that actually seen her get up and jump on a trampoline, jump on a bed, walk. And they questioned her mom. Her mom was like, oh, it's progressive muscle dystrophy, That was pretty smart of Dee Dee. And they did nothing. And then her mother had made her think that her dad didn't give a shit about her. And then DFS came to our house, didn't do shit. Dee Dee was supposed to show the medical records. They didn't even, they let it just go without even getting the medical records from Dee Dee. Okay. And then a doctor wrote in her records something about Munchausen by proxy. Still didn't do shit. Gypsy, if you read in Megan's Thought Catalog, told a woman that was friends with them, this is, not everything is what it looks like. She basically told her that she wasn't disabled and told her that she would do anything to get away from her mom. Guess what? She did nothing. Another one, when she went to Dan's, there were people there that knew Gypsy's story of in the wheelchair. Some that didn't, two that didn't, and one that did. The person that did, you want to know what they did? When they saw Gypsy walking, they called someone from the convention that they knew Dee Dee and told them that Gypsy was there. Those people, Gypsy was outside of her mother's house with people that knew that she was normally in a wheelchair and now she was walking, but yet they called her mom to come get her because they were like, what if she is underage though? And like, Dan's going to get in trouble. Okay. She told the girl there that night when she was talking to her, all I want is to be a normal girl and fall in love. And the girl said that she felt terrible once they got Gypsy back to her mom's because she said she wished she would have asked more questions. And they reached out to Dee Dee and said, why don't you let Gypsy just loose, like off the, like, give her a little room to like breathe, And guess what? Dee Dee blocked all of them. So Gypsy quite literally was failed over and over and over and over and over and over. And you think it should just be so easy for her to call the police or call someone? The police was also there with DFS and didn't do shit. So imagine being failed by every fucking person in your life from the time you are a toddler to your young adulthood. And tell me that you just think it would be so easy. I think I would be pretty fucking hopeless. But I bet y'all didn't know about all those attempts for her to tell. Because y'all like, why didn't you tell anyone? She did. In so many ways, she told people. She might have never said straight up, my mother's making me do this. But she literally told the woman basically that she could walk. She didn't say I could walk, but she mentioned about not really being disabled. Literally said that and said she would do anything to get away from her mom. And that woman basically just looked at her. The woman told the story herself. There's a witness statement from her in Megan's Thought Catalog. Type it into Google, Gypsy Rose Blanchett, Megan's Thought Catalog, with the picture at the top. It's not the one from the act, it's the real picture. Go read that article, and you will read multiple instances where Gypsy opens up her mouth about this, and no one did fucking anything for her. But y'all just like, why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you leave? Yeah, if only it was that simple.
If you have to ask those questions, then you don't understand trauma and abuse and indoctrination.
Sweet.
When you
Hold on. Somebody just said Bri doesn't have a mind of her own. I don't have a mind of my own? Okay. You follow a narrative that's spoken rather than proved, but I don't have a mind of my own. My narrative is not even a narrative. It's truth that I've found out through research, not through Gypsy. So actually, you don't have a mind of your own. You share a mind with the other brainless people that follow a narrative that, like, again, has only been spoken, not proved. Because no one ever proves shit to y'all. And if they do, come up here and show it. You won't, but I invite you to. I don't have a mind. Please. I'm standing against do you see the number of people in here? And do you see how many people is up here, and got my back, and how many people it's in the comments? That should tell you something. You are a part of a herd. Okay? You are a sheep. That would make you the one without your own mind. Let me see you come on TikTok and stand up against thousands of fucking people for the last 2 years and then tell me that you have your own mind. Because you don't. Because you wouldn't do that. Because you don't have it in you because you're fucking weak. Wait, I'm cherry picking? I'm sorry, but there's a bunch of comments. What comment is somebody asking? And I did just answer a question. Jesus, Aubrey told me to answer a question. I just fucking answered it. Too gullible. No, y'all are just too stupid. The mods aren't blocking everyone.
The only people I've blocked are the ones that are invalidating abuse, or if it's so blatantly disrespectful and has nothing to do with what we're talking, such as, for example, calling you a man or something stupid like that. You know what I mean? If you just came in here for that, then you can go.
If they think I'm a man, they should ask their dad. And Allison, I'd own my truth, not hide behind you. Literally, fuck you, because Gypsy tries to own her truth every single day, and that y'all don't allow her. And she's not standing. No, she's allowed to stand behind me. I'm speaking on. She never watched the video that I watched today of Nick. She never listened to Nick's jail phone calls. So she's actually up here standing behind me as her friend, speaking on something that she hasn't seen until I just showed it, to speak it on truth. So I'm sorry that you don't have good friends.
And not a single person in this room, just besides Bri, is entitled to this space. If you are blocked, it's because you're getting blocked. You aren't entitled to be here. We're all blocked from the haters' lives. We can't get into anyone. So stop acting like this is some kind of weird thing that we do when we mute you, because you came over here not to have an adult conversation, but to harass and humiliate people. So no, we will mute you. Sorry.
I see people getting muted. You know, the other day, actually, I was in somebody's live. I won't say whose, but I was in somebody's live, and I seen somebody, they were talking about something, and somebody was in the comments being actually respectful, but it was like challenging their narrative, their thoughts. And once they just got like, they were just like, what are you, like, they was just getting mad at the questions, and they weren't rude questions. It was like, well, what about this? Like, I mean, blah, blah. They got blocked. And they were actually being respectful. They would just, the questions they were asking challenges their narrative. That's the difference. Like, if y'all asked respectful questions, then you wouldn't get blocked and you would maybe get answers. But that's the thing, y'all don't want answers. Y'all don't know how, y'all are mad because y'all are a bunch of man-childs and a bunch of woman-childs. Y'all are not real women and men. Y'all are petty little children because y'all are not able to accept when you're wrong about something. And it's really simple. You just reflect, accept, and move on. And I promise you, oh my God, you wouldn't even imagine how good it would feel to finally move on to something else in your life, not something that makes you more miserable and pathetic and hateful every day. Cause that's what this is doing to y'all. Cause if y'all, look through the comments, y'all have some serious, y'all want to talk about, I'm so glad Gypsy don't act like that. I would hate for a child to be in a home with someone that acts like y'all do. Gypsy don't act like that. Y'all do, though. I had somebody in my live the other day screaming, talking about, yelling all kind of profanities, and their child was yelling for them in the background. Cause y'all care about this shit more than y'all do your own children. Some of y'all. It's giving, y'all need to take a break.
Hey, Bri, I'm about to drop. Ken is getting off of work, and we are dealing with teething and simultaneously dealing with a stuffy nose. So,
well, that sounds so fun.
yeah, it's fun. She's got 2 top and 2 bottom coming in at the same time.
She's such a big girl.
Gypsy,
Oh boy.
Gypsy,
Uh-huh.
put some bed on her feet.
Oh, you're
And that's
breaking
when I'm
up.
breathing.
Yeah.
He said Vicks Vapor Rub on her feet.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Gypsy, well, thanks for coming up, and thanks for coming up, and also, don't ever forget that you're a badass, and these people these people cannot fathom the amount of strength that you hold in that little bit of tiny body of y'all's, girl. That tiny body that they wish they had.
Oh my gosh. That stripper body. No, I'm just kidding. Love you guys.
Y'all want her to work for her own money? That's what you're gonna
Bye.
Bye. I swear, these people wish they was as bothered as Gypsy.
I think that I've always felt this way. They secretly fangirl inside and wish they could speak to her. Because I guarantee you, if she ever spoke to many of them, it's kind of like, when you're sitting there hating, and then, Ken might come up in your life, and all of a sudden you're like their greatest fan. That kind of thing.
Y'all saying 13? Y'all better go. If y'all want to write Nick, y'all can probably. I don't know what y'all have to do. You know how to write, what is that? What's the company name that you have to go through? Oh, what is it? JPEG?
JPay, I've heard of that. Yeah.
JPay or J something like that. Look,
Either IC solutions, either IC
JPay.
solutions or
Okay,
JP.
so I think definitely JPay is one of them. You can look it up or maybe call the prison that he's at, write him, and you can always ask him about the 13-year-old thing because that's he's the one that was into that. So it's just y'all keep on asking Gypsy and like she just don't have answers for you because like it's not her fantasy, it's his. So yeah. So again, you can always reach out to him. He's probably gonna be in the same place for a while. So you won't miss him. So, there's an idea if y'all really want to answer for that. Because y'all asking the wrong person. I'm sorry for y'all troubles. And also, while you're at it, you can ask him why he wants to grape dead bodies too. You just throw that in there too. Muzzle. Kill two birds with one stone,
Yeah, ask them that one for us, if y'all don't mind.
And what they usually say is he never did do that though. Okay, well I guess y'all have to wait around for 13 years and see. Like, y'all are dumb. Well, actually, it won't work because neither Gypsy nor Ken is a vampire, and that fantasy included a vampire. So, lucky for everyone in this situation, I think we're gonna be okay. Oh, also, you might want to read Nick's emails to Dawn where he says similar things. Oh, also, do you know that Nick spoke to Dawn's daughters and the things that he said to them in emails were so inappropriate, in my opinion? Yes, so I think he's the one with the daddy-daughter fantasy. So you might want to, like I said, check in. Maybe by now he's let go of that fantasy. Rain, do you not agree that? Do you not agree that the thing is that is a vile thing to even speak about? Of course it is. Like, then why is everybody speaking about it then? All right, love you. Can you answer that? Why is everybody speaking about it then? It's like these people want to try to, first of all, Gypsy's daughter's never going to get taken away from her because of something she said to please the man she was with fantasy 13 years ago. I know that y'all wish that Aurora would be put into a fucked up system. I know that y'all want that so bad, but it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. So maybe, choose a different Christmas wish because, yeah. Because that's what y'all want. Y'all want Aurora to go into the system that is so fucked up where that'll probably actually end up happening to her, right? In a system that is so fucked up that it's actually very common. Because that's what y'all sick individuals would want. Because y'all are so mad that y'all are wrong about Gypsy. Because if this was the other way around and they found a video of Gypsy saying those things, if they found a video where Gypsy said, before, originally Nick was innocent. And, I sexualized him and I did this, y'all would be like, oh my God. I mean, y'all would be going crazy. But y'all don't want to accept facts. Nick said it. Be mad at him. Go write Nick. That's what else you can add in there. And Nick, we are mad at you because we have been bullying and invalidating Gypsy for almost 2 years now. And all this time, you said this and we didn't know. Because it was sealed because of your fucking court that you keep on appealing even though you're never going to win it. And thanks a lot, Nick. Thanks a lot for making us invalidate Gypsy. And we're wrong. And now we're too prideful to admit it. Tell him that. Express yourself to him. He's really good with feelings, I heard. But it's gonna be okay. They both did wrong. Oh, you talk about what in the murder? Nobody's debating that, Cats. But yes, I agree. They both did wrong. That's not. Did somebody say that they didn't both do wrong? Because I think they did. I think Gypsy was guilty. For some reason, people think that we don't think Gypsy was guilty. Gypsy was obviously guilty, y'all. She took a plea deal. When you take a plea deal, you don't plead innocent for a plea deal. You have to plead guilty. That's how that works. You don't get a plea deal when you
Are
plead
we letting
innocent.
randoms up for questions? Are
I
we
mean,
letting
not
randoms
guilty.
up for questions? This girl named Jackie keeps
No,
axing and
no,
some
no,
other
no,
person.
no.
She has been caught in lie after lie. This is what we have. What lie? Share Bear, just name the lie. I'm being very honest. Grim Bri. Okay, just name the lie and we'll address it. But even though y'all won't like ever the answer, but you know, we can try. Again, no one said he is innocent. It's what he said. She said document. Okay, name the things that's changed. But no, but y'all, but this past week we're not